around in the game. That also works really well too. But again, the more scripted it is, the more like posters, banners, whatever it is that you want to have digital media set up by then. So make sure you have a Facebook page, Twitter account, all that. I got 2 teams that gave me stuff, so it's up there in the list.
If only Oddity. Oh yeah, that's a small one.
Yeah.
No, you mean that's Did you send me the a public play test? People that are going to play your game?
Yeah, like seriously. Lots of stuff going on. I'm confused. That's the way it is. So they'll figure it out. At least this way. What she do with both sometimes you want to like switch a little bit just to get away from the game. If you get that opportunity. Make sure you sign in. Make sure you grab an agenda. Check out a lot of stuff going on for the next couple of weeks.
Adam, you want to go first? Harlan, did we already put the build up?
It's legacy. I like that.
Yeah, that's Please, can I have your attention, please? Today we're transitioning the 281 into the 381. Some of them are not transitioning though. So when you get up here to speak to the group, please thank them for their hard work and do identify yourself and your game before you talk about your build. Thank you.
Right, so are we recording? So, hello everyone. My name is Adam Moore. I'm the assistant lead on Oxygen. I do want to thank all of our online students that were a huge help this semester. We got a lot of art assets done that we couldn't have done without your help. We've made some good progress on a couple of the levels. First, I'd like to let Claire talk a bit about this week's build.
Hello, I'm Claire Layton, lead of Oxygen, and these are the highlights from the production week ending Friday, November 13th, 2015. I am really excited that Adam Moore added a feature that allows us to show the ongoing work on all the current areas available in-game by pressing the function keys. I hope you all enjoy seeing the work by the design team that has gone into each area and their progress towards the visual look of the game. Kelly has continued to work diligently on updating Cecily's model. Can't wait to see the updated helmet. Zach has updated the large transport arrival and departure center with lighting and improved architecture. We now have a view of the hangar where the large transport will be housed. Lehan continued to work on the lighting to create the apprehensive atmosphere of the game in the medical area of the Witness Moon base. Mitchell has corrected the gaps in the laboratory levels architecture, as pointed out by the playtesting report. I also felt it important to address a concern that I'm sure some of you are having regarding the Bion Witness Moon base. Worry no more, the moon base does have bathrooms. Look for this future update next week, adding an objective screen prior to gameplay. The remainder of this presentation will be hosted by Adam Moore, the assistant lead of Oxygen.
All right, so we have a new build for this week. We also do have a new scene to show off, and a lot of the scenes have updates. Unfortunately, we also have a new bug in our first scene. Well, technically, we have two bugs. Well, actually, I'll show those off too. Right, so the first one is I can jump right now. If I step forward and then I jump, we're back to the main menu. Don't know why. Like, I spent a couple hours last night trying to isolate the issue. Couldn't figure it out. But yeah, like if I run around backwards, it's just fine. But as soon as I move forwards, back to the menu.
Stay a while and listen.
So another one, I can pause the game. I can unpause the game. I can't move anymore. Oh, but I can jump and go back to the main menu. I still can't move. We'll restart that. Yeah, like those bugs appear to only happen in that scene too. And so maybe like a script got attached twice to something. I don't know what's going on. This scene is mostly the same as you've seen it for like the last 30 weeks. And it still has the funky orange bullet thing going on. There it goes. All right, so let's move to another scene. We have some new lighting in this scene. This is also still rotating in the wrong direction. We need to update that animation. And yes, there are bathrooms. Right, let's take a look at this scene. So for the last sprint, the design team focused a lot on the lighting of the scenes, and the lighting is looking very nice. Apparently there's no collision on that desk. As you can see, I can jump and move forward and not go back to the main menu. We have the cafeteria with lots of fruit, very detailed fruits. And this is one that you guys haven't seen yet. This is the rover garage. We have a few rovers that appear to be broken. They're smoking. That's probably bad. And I don't make sound when I walk over here. That's really weird. Anywho, well, that's what we have for this week. And apparently I can't pause in this area. So I'm just going to have to Alt F4 out. And thanks.
All right. My name's Harlan, project lead for Team Oddity. And we're pretty much just trying to finish up the rest of the dialogue, trying to get everyone on the same page. I spent a couple hours talking with the online students, just how things should be going, clearing any sort of communication issues. Made a variety of maps and stuff, and we almost got all of the rooms set up and done. Just trying to make some objects that are still consistent with the flat sprite setup, but making a technically long 3D object in a flat room takes some, tweaking. So we're working on that, and hopefully by the time we get all the dialogue set up and implemented, and basic inventory implemented as well, then we should be able to actually play through all of Act 1 and actually navigate and complete Act 1 in its entirety. We just still have more polish to do and work on all of those details. Anything else I missed? All right.
Can you die yet?
No, that's part of the whole talking to folks and letting them kill you. Generally, anything dangerous has to work on that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Generally, how you could die, it's all based on the situation you put yourself in. So, generally, interacting or causing a trigger would cause something to kill you or give you the option to die or defend yourself.
Do you have the system set up yet? Or when you die, you come back and things are saved?
We actually have part of the shadow save, but it's still being tweaked. Yeah. Really just getting all of them together and having those variables triggered.
Right now, from what I understand, the items work properly, but right now the stuff with the player does not save along with it.
Yeah, gotta work on that. Otherwise, it's a piece of whole painting mechanic. Well, yeah, it's really just getting everything working together and fine tuning the graphics.
Yes. All right. Thanks, guys.
So it's a real quick build this week. It's really just a transitional build. Actually, it's kind of exciting just because we've been working on getting stealth into the game for a little while now. And they're finally getting in there. I actually spoke with the people who created the kit that we're using, and he was really excited about what we're doing. So that's getting implemented right now. Part of the reason this is called Mortal Church is because we actually got the church into the build. And it didn't go completely according to plan, but
No,
you'll see that.
It didn't. It didn't go according to plan. Things broke.
So we come over here. We have our wonderful church.
That's the church I made, and it's unwrapped. But I panic exported it this morning out of Max. Max doesn't like it when you export things with symmetry on them, and don't collapse your stacks in Max. It gets really upset at you, and this is what happens. So remember, artists, collapse your stacks before you export, or things like this happen. And it's ugly. Yeah, but it's done. It just needs to be textured.
This has been a public service announcement.
Yeah. Remember,
Slice the view over until
yeah, you can see half.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
There, you can finally not see the broken part.
Yeah.
All right. But, yep.
Woo, pause.
There we go.
Thank you.
Have fun, everyone.
Yeah, here, come on.
All right, so first disclaimer: we don't have new content for this week, and that's rare, but we don't. We were waiting on a few things to come through, but as happens, they didn't. So, should I run through the same build that we had last week to record, or should I talk about the new stuff we're gonna do?
Yeah, just run through the whole build.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll highlight some different areas that we're actually going to look at and work on. First things first. So right now I have about 10 people that I added on the studio members, core members who have been officially added to the studio roster. So then I added 2 more people. The sound designer that I have for the games, he's coming on, and also Lydia Rower Netherton. So she's really done well. She's an online student that has taken on the marketing. So she will be taking over the marketing lead for the studio. So that's pretty awesome. So she'll be starting this week. So, and also IGF, we went to the IGF, I submitted to that. So we are continuing to add updates to the IGF submissions, and also South by Southwest. South by Southwest, December 4th, we have a few weeks left. That's the last update that we can commit. So we are going to be hashing out a plan this day, today, and this week to actually work on a 3-week to 4-week plan to get everything ready for a green light, and also for that. So I'll go into the game and show you where we're going to be focusing on. Go to the actual level. Okay, so what's going to happen in the levels? We're going to be refining the some of the UI and menus. One of the menus we were hoping to have done finally, but it didn't get done, so we're going to be working on that even more. Also, the different sound effects, chat, voiceover is going to be starting to put in. So one of the things I'm going to be looking at doing, like you could talk to them, we're going to start being put the voices in. We do have recorded voices done already. I'm just waiting for the functionality to get there, but you'll actually be able to hear Barry talk. Lily is going to talk. Different stuff like that. So that's what my goal is, to get the NPCs done. We actually have 3 of the librarians' voiceover done already. So that's my goal, is get everybody personalized and get it all working. So when you go up here, you talk to them, they work on a quest system. We were working on a quest system this week, but I guess one of the programmers was having a little bit of difficulty with it. That will actually make the town function gameplay-wise. So that's what we want to do. The other areas that we're going to be looking at doing are adding all the rest of the sound effects. We're hoping to have walking sound effects on the different types of terrain done. So that's one of the things that we're going to be working on too. And if you go down, I really want to focus on adding visuals and gameplay to the builds that we're submitting to the competitions. So one of them that's going to happen, the barn area, the barn itself is actually not going to have Lily in it. So when you go to the boss, I showed you guys the boss fight there. That's going to take later. So that's like a preview of later down the line. What's going to happen is some games actually show you, or turn it over. Some games actually show you and say, hey, this is an illusion of like where items would be or where you could explore. So what we're going to do in the barn, actually, we're working on a loft level that's above it. So what happens is I'm going to use the creatures to kind of hint where things would be or where you could go. So one of the things we're going to work on is climbing it in forests. You'll be able to climb up trees and get items from there. You'll be able to actually climb different things. So you'll be able to go up in the attic. You'll be able to climb a ladder. So one of the things I really want to put in is that level. You go in there, you see this birdie flies up top, and you're like, okay, cool. And then a ladder falls down. You can climb. And then we're going to be working on jumping across beams, so adding some mechanics to that. So also the farmhouse. This is going to be the first internal main area that James is working on inside of this house here. So when you start, you will actually start in the house, which will lead from the narrative, which is what we really want to get. Narrative has been kind of lacking, which just sucks because you don't know what you're doing. You just throw into the game, right? And you're like, well, what am I doing? Because it's really based on narrative-driven gameplay. So the narrative is one thing I'm really going to try to hash out a plan to get it put in. That way people can start seeing the story that builds up to it. So farmhouse is going to be the area, the first internal area that we're going to focus on, as well as this barn over here. And then we're also going to be adding in different assets into this level to try to really polish it. The last level that's going to happen over the next area goal is this cornfield here, which has been kind of a challenge to figure out how to do it right and how to make it not busy, cluttered. Because, cornfield can be kind of cluttered if you're going to do it right. So we want to make sure it feels like a maze rather than you just see everything. But yeah, we are going to be adding a lot more, and we're really pushing the media too. So Lydia, we're going to get a film done and try to really polish up for green light coming up. next 2 weeks. And then credits, I'm going to be looking at, we have a theme for that, so we're going to try to get the credit screens in there. And we also have a few sites that I made for the different game projects. So the mobile game, mirrored mobile game that we have, that's another side project based as an offshoot of this, is actually being worked on now. So that's being worked on. I had a couple designers working on that too. So each of those sites, I'll show you guys those once we get some critiques on them. But right now the studio has 4 different projects being hashed through at different levels. So that's what we're going to do. Get it knocked out. Thanks.
All right, so as you guys know, the HoCom project has changed a bunch of times, and actually pretty much everything we've got is what we've done in the last 2 weeks. So you're going to see most of that. My name is Matthew Marquardt. You already knew that. I think you did. Is this? All right, so we have 3 builds because we haven't put everything together. So we have actually 3 builds here. It's a deeper map. That's the official name. A deeper map. Yeah. So, all right. So while that's loading up, we can show up a couple of things. It's HoCom project's not necessarily a game. It's kind of changed. So it's more of an app. But what we're going to do in our functionality that we already have, this is the functionality. So in the next week, 2 weeks maximum, we're going to get all the stuff together. Right now, it's all separated because everybody's working on separate things right now. But this is basically the functionality of the app. There's 2 levels. There's a 2D map and a 3D map. And so this is the when this loads up. This is the 2D map section where you start. Go team. As you can see, yeah, this is a zoomed up version of Antarctica. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right. So actually, this is the 3D map. This is the stuff I was working on with the textures and the plants. This is just to get a feel for it. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be like 200 feet up in the air. So I've been working on creating blends in Unity that look a lot better. So from the sky, they look good. Have a lot of detail. I have parallax mapping working, Ben, because you love that word, parallax. So it actually really makes the stuff pop out a little bit more so that we get more detail when we're flying. But anyways, yeah, so I've been trying to throw the stuff together, come up with some blends. This is actually a 3D map. I got the sky in there, got the lighting to match the sky. I have some, we'll back up a second here. So right here are some of the blends that we're going to be using. So I have zoomed up. So these are like 3 or 4 different textures. You can see how I've got them blended in Unity. We're going to get that so that they look a lot better, so that the ground doesn't just, look boring with the same repeated tiling texture over and over again. So we've got stuff blending pretty nice because we're recreating basically Phoenix. So we have these textures that we've selected. So Justin has been putting together, a build from where we're going to be when you actually see the 3D map, which one? The HoloCom build. So this one is in the sky. So we're supposed to be 100, 200 feet above. So you're going to see the scope of the communities that used to live here 1,000 years ago or so. We haven't determined the exact height yet, but like I said, it's going to be up in the air. And like I said, Justin's been kind of putting it together. He's the I guess you would call him the level designer. Yeah, the app designer. It's a level designer on an app. Okay. So you can kind of see the different structures that were built. Okay. And then we're going to take basically the art that we've put together and then the art that George has been doing. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that George has been doing too. Right. But yeah, you feel like you're in a helicopter. But yeah, that's the point. So you see like the sky that I had and the train and all that other stuff. We're going to integrate it into this with these objects so that you can basically see, and this is literally recreated based on actual landmarks and sites that exist. So these are the exact arrangement of what the buildings used to look like in an area. What's the area called again?
Los Muertos.
Yeah, Los Muertos. So we can kind of get a view of this is what we're going to see the 3D world at from about this high. We don't have the textures on the buildings or anything right now, but that's like I said, he's doing the level design. George and I are doing the art. George is also doing the UI, so you can take a look at that real quick. So yeah, here's George's UI concept. So you're basically going to start off in the 2D map. You're going to see this, and then we've got little buttons. We haven't put those stuff in there yet, but when you click on all these buttons, things will expand. This is the social media one, so you push this button and this will expand out. This is your layers button, because what we're going to do is on the map, you'll be able to show things like irrigation, cultivation, stuff like that, detailed sites, and you can turn those layers on and off. So you kind of basically see the entire Phoenix area the way it looked like 1,000 years ago from a 2D view. Right, and you can kind of move around. And you can see the roads currently. You can toggle the roads on and off to kind of see where these things were based on where you live right now. And then you choose a site, and then it'll take you to the 3D mode, and you can actually look at that particular site in 3D. So that's what's going on. And the functionality that we have. So I think I'm not sure if I grabbed the wrong one, but. So this should be the functionality of what we've got. So our programmer has been putting the functionality with all programmer art. So this is what it's going to be like in the 2D map. You can kind of move around in the 2D map. You can zoom in and out of the map. You have your mini map over here. You can see that they'll be showing. So there's going to be a flat down mini map, and this will be kind of a 2.5D, I guess you could say. And then these are points of interest. So if you click on a point of interest, you'll get a dialog box. It'll give you like information and stuff like this. This is all the programmer art. So you can see how everyone's doing their own thing, right? We have all these things combined because, like I said, we've totally rehashed the project in the last 2 weeks. And this is pretty much all we've done in the last 2 weeks combined. Now we got to get all of these aspects together. That's our main focus for the next couple of weeks. But there you go. Awesome. Very, very.
Hey guys. Okay, I'll delete the here. So it's been a while. In case you forgot, I am Eric Dutton. I'm the design lead on Great War. I've been missing for the past couple weeks with build reviews due to various personal reasons. Here we have Nick Reed, our main lead, and Pat Arbasak, our programming lead. So we have some really cool stuff to show this week. The first of which being that the build is not going to crash. It's been a problem for the past couple weeks. I don't know why. I've been working on it for 3 weeks now, and then it magically fixed itself last night. So it's not going to crash. It is not going to crash.
We have a new title screen in.
Yeah, we haven't put them in yet. I spent most of last night trying to figure out why things were crashing.
Well, it didn't crash.
It did not crash when we opened the test level, which is great. The other thing that I want to point out, since we're talking about online students and giving credit and stuff, Pat?
Yeah. We have two fantastic game programmers, Caleb Richardson and Caleb Jacobs. Caleb Jacobs has been working on the construction script like you've seen the past few weeks. So he's got the functionality for several different buildings, and you can use buttons. We haven't really thrown them into the GUI yet, but you can twist them around, rotate them rather. You can't see it since we don't have the art assets as of yet, but he has built in the functionality so that when the engineer gets to the place and you see the flag is rotating to show that it's being made, during this time, he has put in the functionality so that we can replace the model with a building, like an animation that shows like
there are building 2 2x4s, something like that, something that signifies that
something that represents
actually in progress being built.
Precisely. and that when the building is finished, it'll then be replaced with the final model. So also, if you'd see, we have the beginnings of the fog of war. It really works well. As you see, we can't see on the mini map; it's blanked out. And then when you send in soldiers up the
Out of the trenches.
out of the trenches, essentially.
Across no man's land.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fog of war will be. This was Caleb Jacobs.
Yeah, Caleb Jacobs, our online programmer. That dude's a stud. He's done all kinds of great work for our project.
Sorry. He did this in a week. He did what we couldn't do in almost 10 weeks in a week. So, I mean, this guy's fantastic. But yeah, Caleb Richardson, our other programmer, you can't really see it because the fog of war, but the AI for the enemies are much improved now. They now react to the objective system. So if you're defending a point, an objective, and trying to achieve an objective, the enemies will start to go towards that point. They'll dynamically, depending on what objective you are currently having, it will specify what their actions will be.
They have better sound too.
Yeah. The other thing that happened, this week is we reorganized our team last week a bit. We have a couple people on audio now, Marcus and Kyle, who've done a stellar job in making the explosions sound more realistic, the gunfire sound better, fixing all the stuff that I did back in the first semester we worked on this and making it actually sound good. I'm really happy to see, a lot of the progress that's being made. The other thing that's going to be happening probably in the next week or so is implementing all of these systems across the other levels that we have. A couple of our levels are not up to date due to some Git glitches, but other than that, there's some solid progress being made across the board. We're looking at objectives in multiple levels, fog of war in multiple levels, the AI fleshed out. It's looking like a real RTS at this point. And
also, the objective system is finally finished. Like it's finished right now, as of now. So each level you can put in, the designers can put in like 3 objectives, like defend, attack certain points. And then it'll show up on the GUI and you'll be able to go to the specific places. So that just needs to be set up, but the functionality is in there. So we can start building actual levels. And also there's dogfighting with planes. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I can spawn one right now. Is that a hanger? It's a hanger. So yeah, it's going to spawn a hanger. I actually don't know what that is. But yeah, currently what our programmer Andre has been working on is dogfights and getting that awesome functionality in there. So yeah, playing blue and it left because I don't think our programmer knew about them. So I don't think he put them into the he definitely didn't put them into the fog of war. Yeah, that's obviously one of the things we can fix. But yeah, the planes are getting in there and they look awesome. So.
I mean, with any new addition, there's always going to be glitches, but
yeah,
there's a lot of progress being made, and the game's getting to the point where it's starting to look really solid. So we're happy to be making progress. We're happy to show you our progress, and there's going to be a lot more coming in the next couple weeks. So.
Thank you, Greenlight.
Yeah.
And you're working on it this weekend?
We're working on it this weekend.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
The jam?
I can reopen it.
Wait, the Greenlight Jam? Not Greenlight.
Extra credit for anybody who wants to work on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anybody on our team or any of the other teams, I guess I could pass them on for everybody. If you want to work on your game or work on any other game that you plan on greenlighting this weekend, Ben is offering extra credit. So
Take a point or two, but I'll give you more too.
So yeah.
Awesome progress. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Dylan Chepis. I'm the lead for Happy Skies. So, actually, I'll turn off the desktop. So this week we've got, well, first off, GitLab wasn't broken when we tried to make a build, so we could actually pull our stuff. So we've got a build this week. So there are a few things that I'd like to show off. So first off, we've got some updates to our UI. It's still not completely done, but now, one takes you to the test character select. But now, so when you go to the travel log, we've got the beginnings of the various spots where you're going to have landmarks and the information where the characters are and things like that. And then we've got the test for our character select. So right now you can go through and we just have to link up the correct characters and create their little portraits for the buttons, and then just link up, put the correct character in the slot. And then we'll be able to have fully functioning character select. And then in the actual level, so something that we just got in, so this right here is the armor power-up. So before the monkeys would hit you and use balloons, now you're briefly, oh, I'm no longer invulnerable. I'm briefly invulnerable. Kill them really quick. And as you can see, we've got our coins in there, and they're now pick-upable. They don't update the points because the points are supposed to be separate. That's a system that's based on how many enemies you kill. The coins are actually going to be our in-game currency that we'll be linking up. We've got some new art assets in Nepal. It's a very, very pretty town. Now let me get over to where we've got one of our landmark events, which I have to give kudos to our online programmer, Matthew Butler. He's the one who did our power's not linked up on this, but he's the one who did our power system, and he also did our landmark event system. So we've got a few for examples. It needs art for it, but so I double click on that. And then what ultimately will happen is these cubes over here that will spawn, they're actually going to start charging across and going towards the Great Wall of China. And so if they hit it, you fail. And if you kill all of them, then you get an unlock. We're still working on the actual system for the window popping up and saying, hey, you unlocked it. But so we've got the beginnings of our landmark system in there. So we've got that one, and all of it's with placeholder art. But so we'll go over here, and I'll show off the other one. We've got 4 landmarks in total. I'll just show off 2 of them. So you double click on the kaiju. Well, I don't think I added a collider. I think I forgot that part because you need to add a collider and a script. So I'll go double check. I think I didn't add a box collider on them. So what would happen is you double click and then 2 more cubes are going to spawn. So we're at the stage where we just need to make the art and the animations to actually give those the functionality that we're supposed to have. And then we just need the GUI pop-up saying, hey, you unlocked stuff. But we have that by the end of the day today. So that way we've got pretty much everything we want for our second milestone build. Thank you.
Nice.
Call them all. What's that? Oh, okay. He's a model.
This is the newest build. I'd like to also thank all the online students for all the work that they've put in for the last 5 weeks. So right off the bat, one of the big things that we have now is the survival actually has rounds. So it actually will show off, it'll say how many rounds you're on. So like the first round will say round 1, it'll have the countdown, and then so on. It'll keep track of whatever round you're on. The animations have been fixed a bit more. It's still one of the hardest things that we're having right now is making sure that each of the 3 separate parts all stay together consistently, especially with like the movement and when the player moves into objects. But it's getting there. It's a long process that some of the programmers are working on. Another big thing that we have now is keyboard control, because you used to have to always use the controller, but now the keyboard actually works as an extra controller. We actually have knockback now, so enemies actually get thrown away too. And then I'm pretty sure the screen shake should work now. We're not. So yeah, the screen shake's not working right now, but we'll have to make sure at some point that works every single time. It was working yesterday.
Ask for one thing. Screen shake. Somebody jumps upstairs real quick.
Then on top of that, right now we have a base UI. So it's not currently working, but we put it in just to show it off. So like that's what the UI would look like, and we have all the different assets. So we have all the different colors you could possibly be, all the different numbers. So player 1 through 4, and then all the numbers and the gold amounts. So all we have to do is just have them programmed. This first gold coin has also been replaced. So that's what the newer assets are going to look like. So the newer coins are a bit bigger and they're going to spin. Right now the animation's not working, but it's in the engine. We also have things that we couldn't show off because they weren't connecting correctly, but I can show basically the door system works. It's just not going to all the floors that we have. So this one goes to the previous scenes that we had. So it returned back to this one. Oh, it's a nightmare. Okay, so I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but basically there should be other scenes that it takes us to. So maybe that's the reason why it's also not connecting to the other floors. It's going back to this one. So that's something we'll have to figure out today. But those are the biggest things for this week. So that's this week's build.
Screen check.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Actually, welcome, Professor Derek Clark.
I turned 22 yesterday. I did.
I can legally drink now.
Yes, let's go.
Sorry, George is half my age, so it's 11. So a couple of quick things. I'm always pushing social media. If you haven't figured that out, I've turned into the game guru of self-promotion, which is so not my personality. It's kind of funny. A little announcement: the game studios, we hit 900 followers this morning or yesterday. So, but I want to push your guys' games as well. So I have the Twitter accounts of Mirrored, Oxygen, and the Great War. But I don't have. If you have a Twitter account and you're not one of those three, send me that information so that I can start to do that. My goal, YouTube is our latest project. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but we're putting build reviews up there, and they're dividing them up into individual playlists. So there's weekly build reviews of each of your games on the UAT Game Studios YouTube channel. We have a whopping, wait for it, 11 subscribers to our YouTube channel. 3 of them are my family. There's me, my wife, and my 9-year-old, I believe, are all followers of the YouTube channel. But we just started that this term. It's a brand new thing. But what I want to start doing, and the reason I want your Twitter account as well, is I want to start putting out individual tweets of like, hey, look what Oxygen has worked on this week, and link to your playlist and do a bunch of stuff like that to help promote you guys. So if you can send me that kind of information, it definitely helps. Obviously, we have our Facebook account as well. So Twitter, 91 more, and they release the shackles of I can follow thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Because I believe you can only follow 2,000 people until you get 1,000 followers of your own. So that's been my goal. But we've pushed that since June. June 1st, we opened our Twitter account with 0 people. And so it's been a very, very good push. But I want to use that now to actually help you. The other thing that I want to pass along, if you are wanting to get into the Twitter world and you're like, wow, I'm not sure who to follow or how to get into the gaming side of things, if you go to see who I'm following, 99% of the people that the UAT Game Studios account is following are game developers, and game companies. There's a smattering of like I follow the Suns and I follow some of the local news stations because if I'm going to reach out to a news station, that's good to know. I think I follow like AZDOT just to see if there's any accidents before I leave work. But the vast majority of the people I follow are all game related. So if you're trying to build your own follower base, go and follow those people because they're already gaming people and they'll a lot of times follow you back. And it's I've done a lot of the legwork to help you build your own Twitter thing. If you want to do it, it'll be much easier for you because I've hand searched a lot of those people out. So,
Step forward.
So that's really it. I want to help you guys any way I can, so please send me that information. Like I said, push the YouTube channel. Just did a thing to our student services and our recruiters about a lot of that kind of stuff as well. So other than that, it's been awesome to watch you guys this term. 8 projects rocks. I did the math. We did the maths. There are at least 123 students involved in UAT Game Studios in some capacity this term. That makes up 25% of the entire UAT student body-ish, and about 35% of the game degrees. So this thing has grown into something that's really, really awesome. And when I say involved, right, it means like the testing classes involved. It doesn't mean we're all doing it, but there's these little links. George brings his Game 110 students in and things like that. We're going to try to do more of those kind of interactions where you can come in on the class and just kind of help out with the studios. So other than that, I don't have a lot. Any questions for me?
Would you like to address the online students?
Great to have you aboard. Love the online students. If you do have any feedback on your experience, can you see me? Feel free to email me. I'm happy to talk about it. But I think it's been a great experience having the online kids on board. Because of those 123, probably 50-ish, 50 to 60 are online students. So they're a big component of what we do now. So it's great to have them. All right, I'll get out of your hair and go make stuff. Oh, I will end with this. Your guys' presence has been noticed at all levels of the university. So I have lots of meetings with Dave and the Jasons of the world and different things like that. And they love the energy you guys have brought to Friday. So you might hate it. We love it. But it has been noticed. It is a sense of pride for the leadership of UAT. Because now when somebody shows up on a Friday for a surprise tour or a senator comes by or somebody comes in, and they used to walk in here on Friday and it's just like, really? It's a school? There's nobody here. What's going on? Now they walk in and there's all this activity and energy, and what you guys have brought to the Friday on-campus experience has been noticed at all levels. So thank you for sticking it out. It's been an awesome thing. That'll be that's a very positive thing to know. All right, good job, guys. Game jam this weekend.
Yeah. Thanks, Derek. Yeah, those are all awesome points. In fact, the especially part about social media and getting the word out about what you're doing, especially now since we've got the celebration coming up on December 11th. The Eventbrite has been created, so some of you might have seen already on our Facebook page that we've got links to that. Did you link to that too, Twitter?
I think I retweeted Lauren's.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll keep sending stuff.
So if you guys want to retweet, repost, all that kind of stuff, invite as many people as possible.
Outside
December
people.
10th,
Get outside.
or 11th. Yeah, exactly.
You know Mark Curtis, invite him.
Who?
Shit. I don't know. That's the only news anchor I can think of.
Yeah, we're trying to get, media here, we're trying to get local businesses, tech companies, other game studios, venture capitalists, anybody else that you can think of, parents, friends, families, so on. Then I just want to run through, because we actually do have quite a bit going on, despite the fact that we are kind of getting near the end of the semester. Tonight, starts the game jam, so if any of you are going to do the game jam, let me know that you've done it afterwards, and I don't know, take like selfies or something the whole time we're making, so that's
Tweet about it.
Have like proof. Yeah. Tweet about it, do Facebook page posts, whatever. That's great. I'm happy to give you extra credits. Those links.
The 281 up to 50 points. We do need that standalone executable though.
So there we go. So that'll be from starting tonight at 6:30 here in the theater and go until Sunday, probably around the same time. You guys doing prizes and stuff too, or?
It really depends on if student government gives us money.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think we're still waiting on getting the official okay from them.
Okay. Either way, I'm sure you guys will have some kind of a ranking, right? So,
there will be.
So we'll be excited to see that. And yeah, you can either work on these games here, although I do encourage if you are working on games currently now, do that. If you do want to break, talk to your leads and maybe try something else. If you're interested in doing a game to pitch for next semester, go ahead and try to do that. Again, talk to leads first about that. Make sure you do your assignments in the show. I say it every week. Some of you still aren't doing it. Most of you are. Business cards, I talked to Heidi. She has ordered them. They actually should be here anytime. I thought they'd be here today. So hopefully next week, and I can hand those out to you guys. I think everybody who signed up, she said like 4 or 5 people didn't come back to her in the email. So if you're one of those 4 or 5 people, you still want business cards, it's never too late. You can just go up to see Heidi in student services up in the corner there, or I'll help you find her. But they're happy to do that, make business cards for you guys. This coming week, so next week we will be meeting here per usual. And then on Saturday, we've got the ThinkSpot demo day going on. So that, you want to talk a little bit about that again, Stephen?
Yeah. So once again, it's going to be the public play tests for everyone's games. As you can see on the board, we still need the majority of the group's title, what your genre is, and a brief description. This will be for the library to make posters and to kind of advertise for it. Since we're only a week out and we still haven't gotten the information, that means that we're only going to get about a week of advertisement. So make sure you get that in today. Also, be prepared once again to give a 10-minute presentation while you're there, and to have somebody set aside specifically to help people kind of set up the play tests and just run through it and be able to answer questions while people play.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity again for all the teams to get the word out there, what you're doing, drum up attention for the December 11th event, and also play test your games with folks at the library there. So again, I need 2 people identified from your team. You'll do a 10-minute presentation. Not much more than kind of what we do anyways. And then, yeah, the name, genre, and short description.
Yep.
Thanks. And the time again for that on Saturday is?
That is 1 to 4.
1 to 4, so ThinkSpot, 1 to 4. Ricky, so you already talked about YouTube. I need those images from everybody. I already talked to the leads about that. IGF, again, congratulations, everybody. It's awesome to see that we've got 4 UAT games up on the IGF competition website. So I thought, you guys, I think I looked at it yesterday, there are 775 submissions. So we're 4 of those, although those include student and professional. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been an IGF student judge before. Don't be intimidated by the number. There's a lot of crap.
There's a lot.
Like literally, I think I judged like 40 one year, and 20 to 25 of them were like a ball rolling around on a plane, and that was it. That's what they submitted, right? So you can weed out a good chunk of those. It's still competitive. There are some awesome games. The year I judged it, there was one called Deep Blob that became a Wii game where you jumped around and colored the world. That was a student game. The ones that I judged, it was in my group. So there are really good games as well. But yeah, don't let the 700 scare you. There's a lot of just, they technically entered, but it's like, holy cow. Like there was a hockey one somebody submitted. It was just 2 stick figures moving back and forth. And that was it. There wasn't even a puck. It was, they tried. I respect them for submitting, but yeah, there's definitely a low level bar that gets eliminated, and then it comes down to, like I said, the 40 I judged, there was probably 8 to 10 that were decent games.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
we started doing.
I'm hoping that we have low attendance on it during GDC week, meaning that we're all over at GDC, rubbing elbows with folks out there. But we'll see. So looking forward to seeing what ends up happening with those. And I think all the teams who've submitted before, you guys are doing a great job. So just keep it up. The judging comes around, I'm sure we'll have a lot to show. Yeah, very cool. So the way the rest of the kind of time is going to go with us here for the semester, next week's the 20th on Friday. We'll meet just like normal. The following week will be the 27th, and that's Thanksgiving. So we won't have class, although I know some teams are ambitious and they're going to try to meet, which is awesome. Especially if you've got something you're trying to build up for, like a competition. The next week will be the 4th of December. We are having an in-service here. I told you guys that before. But actually, the way that the class runs is going to just run like usual. So we've been able to get it kind of the permission. So I don't know if you want to.
Well, you guys are actually an in-service presentation. So I'm shooting to try to make it 10:30. That's when you guys meet, right?
Yeah.
I'm shooting to try to get it to be 10:30, so it'll be exactly the same for you guys. We're either going to have an hour and an hour and a half. They're still giving me the final schedule, but you guys are on the schedule for in-service, which means you'll be doing kind of what you're doing here for everybody who works at UAT. They'll all be in here to watch it. So treat it as such, not that you don't take every week very seriously, and, have screen shakes working and all that kind of stuff. But you will be presenting in front of the entire university.
No pressure.
No pressure.
We can stand upstairs and jump if you want.
Anything goes wrong, blame George. So I will get Lynn and Ben that information. I'll go meeting with the in-service committee, I think, today. I'm going to try to get the finalization. But I requested 10:30. They originally were going to give me an hour, but some afternoon things changed. So I might be able to get an hour and a half. But let's kind of shoot for probably 5-minute presentations between transitions and stuff. And I'll let you guys know as soon as I have the final details. But that'll be the point. So.
Yeah. So my suggestion or recommendation, and I don't know if we're requiring this, but probably a good idea. Let's require it. You guys make videos for your build reviews, so that way nothing can go wrong. That way we're not sitting here also loading up the builds ahead of time for so long, because I don't really know what's going to be happening before the 10:30 time. So make a video that's not between 3 and 5 minutes. I mean, really, it doesn't need to be that long. Just show off what you're doing, talk a little bit about it. Again, screw people who aren't here always with us, so they might not understand the progress that you made like we do. So try to be explicit in your videos about that. Then the next week will be the 11th, so that's the presentation. So green light in the morning, green light pitches like we did last time, starting at 10:30. After build reviews, we'll have the green light pitches. Anybody who wants to pitch for the next semester. And then we've got kind of a break throughout the day where you'll just be working on your stuff. And then in the evening from 6 to 8 is the green light pitch, green light celebration. So yeah, dress up, bring business cards, bring lots of flyers and stuff for your games. We're gonna have demos stations outside. So after everybody presents, then we'll go out there and kind of have like a little networking time for people to gather and just talk. And then we've got the 18th of December, and that's our final day. We might have a pizza party. I don't know. Depends if Roy wants to give me $5, then we'll definitely have a pizza party. 5 times everybody here, we got a lot of pizza, right? Maybe even $1 each, and then we can get a lot. I believe it's everything. The skills personnel matrix. I know some of your teams have started to work on this. I've asked for the lead to give me one from everybody by the end of today. If you guys have questions on that, let's talk about it. Talk about your leads. I know there were some people who had some issues not completely understanding it. That's totally fine. These are all just tools. We're trying to be transparent in what we do as far as teams and how you organize things. So have those discussions. I think that's a good idea. And that's really about it. Just tweet about a lot of stuff, do social media, and you want to have less. Thank you again online, and we'll see you in 381 next.
Good. For the 4th, try to have a link to your YouTube video at least a couple days in advance to us so that we can build that the YouTube stack. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So put it on YouTube and then give us the link. By like what, Wednesday? So that would be the 2nd. So December 2nd, give us a YouTube link to your build video. Cool. Any other comments, questions? All right, let's go build. Let's go make games. See you guys later.